Hey, it's Steph. Thanks for watching today's video. I have my very first update for this round of Throwback 30. This is a project pan created by Jessica Lee in collaboration with the Fantastic Ladies Facebook group, and she created this project so she could work on a ton of projects at the same time. There are 30 prompts and each one represent a past or present Fantastic Ladies project, and we all voted for which 30 that we wanted to be in here. So for each project you choose a prompt within that project to work on an item. I rolled in all 30 items in my intro last month, and I have not worked on every single one of those 30 items, so I will only be talking about the products that I have used within this last month, and I do actually have a rollout, so it's very exciting. If you're not familiar with my channel, I do mostly panning content. I'm trying to work through my collection of the items I already have. I am on my second no buy year in a row, so projects like this help me use what I have in a little more creative ways. I also do palette bingos and get ready with me's every now and then, so if that sounds interesting to you and you're not subscribed, I hope you subscribe before you leave. I am basically barefaced. I have some lipstick on and I threw a little bit of mascara, but it is very hot and I'm in a little bit of a rush. My toddler woke up late this morning and I let him sleep in because usually if he's sleeping later than his normal time, that means his body needs it, and I try to just listen to his body. So he went down for a little bit of a later nap, and that means a shorter nap. So I'm in a rush. So I didn't want to do like a full face of makeup. I usually do my makeup when he goes down for his nap. That's just what works for me. But let me get into the prompts. The very first one I'm going to talk about is for 12 Days of Christmas, and I chose the prompt 9 Ladies Dancing. I rolled in a ColourPop Heart Blush in the shade Let's Dance. I thought this was perfect for that prompt, and I wanted to use this 30 times within this project. I will have a side-by-side comparing how it looked when I rolled it in. I did have a pan in it already, and I have used it 5 times this last month, and I feel like the pan is already expanding, which is very exciting. So this blush is perfect for this time of year. It kind of leans coral on me. It's like a pinky coral, very pretty blush, and I'm happy to be getting use on it. I feel like August was a pretty low usage month for me, probably because it's been really hot and I don't really feel like wearing makeup, but also I've just been focusing on other things and I haven't really been prioritizing doing my makeup, which is sad. That is kind of like me time, but it is what it is. The next project is for seasons, and I chose the season spring. I rolled in my Bella Beauté Bar Pastel Gardens because I feel like this is spring in a palette, and I wanted to do this no pan left behind, so I am about halfway done. I will have like a graphic on the screen, but this is the palette here, and well, I'm going to be throwing up looks, and then I will put the like which shades in total that I've used on the screen, but I've been really enjoying this. This was recently decluttered to me, and I'm just so happy that I have it. I'm trying to get my No Pan Left Behind done before fall, and I think I could do that. I think this will be done by the next update. The next prompt was for the project 50 Shades of Black, and I rolled in this lipstick from Revlon. It's one of their super lustrous lips in the shade 619 Rose and Shine. I wanted to use this 30 times as well, and I got 6 uses out of it so far, which I think is pretty good considering I'm working on other lipsticks. But I'm not going to throw up like a side-by-side. I'll do that when I reach my 30 uses and we can compare what it looked like when I rolled it in versus the 30 uses. But this is the shade. It's just a really pretty like neutral pink, and it is pretty sheer, so I can pair this with any lip liner that I feel. And I did take this on like a trip with me, and yeah, I'm enjoying working on this one. Next, I'm going to go down a couple to 50 Shades of Green, And I rolled in a Sydney Grace single eyeshadow in the shade Mountain Pine. This is just a beautiful, oh, I just dropped it. That's great. Oh man, I will show you the damage that it just did to one of the eyeshadows in here. Not too bad, but this is Mountain Pine, just a beautiful, more cool tone, maybe a neutral green shimmer. I really enjoy this shade, so I'm glad I'm working on it. I feel like I used it more than once though. So if I did, I will put every single look that I created, but it may have only been once. That's kind of sad. And then the next prompt I'm gonna skip down to is 7 Deadly Pans, and I chose Envy, which is green as well. So I rolled in another Sydney Grace single eyeshadow, and it is the shade Stringtown. And it is this gorgeous, cool toned, lighter green. I use these in the same look at least one time. And I only have one use marked, so maybe I did only use these once, but if that is not true, you will see more looks on the screen. Oh, for both of those, I want to use those 10 uses each. Next is the Ancient Mythos project, and I chose the prompt Aphrodite, which can be a pink product or one you fell in love with at first sight. And this applies to both of those. This is my AOA Pawpaw contour stick in the shade Nude. It is a perfect fair nude contour, and I wanted to use this 30 times. I've used it 6 out of the 30 times. I'm trying to finish a contour, so I mean, this isn't like super high priority, but I do feel like it has gone down quite a bit compared to when it was rolled in, so that is really nice. This is it all the way rolled down, so it does like stick out of the packaging naturally. There's a ton of product in here that's going to last me forever. So 6 out of 30 uses. Next is for the project Another Pan Bites the Dust, and I chose the prompt Another Pan Bites the Dust, which is to finish a product that you were close to finishing. And I rolled in a perfume from Victoria's Secret. This is the Pure Seduction Untamed perfume, and like the prompt suggests, I have to finish this. I've used it 11 times, and I will have a comparison on the screen. Hopefully you can see. It's like down there. I feel like this is slower moving, but whenever I put it on myself, I kind of spray it around the air as well. That's just what I like to do. So 11 uses so far on that. Skipping down to Beauty A to Z, I have the letter Y, and I chose my YSL Libre perfume. I have decanted it into this little ionizer, and I wanted to finish it, so I will have a side-by-side comparing where I'm at now to when I rolled it in. I have used this perfume 6 times, which is pretty good considering I think of this more as a fall and winter scent. I actually didn't expect myself to use this at all until the fall and winter, so 6 uses is pretty good. Now let's talk about Budget Beauty, which is basically like a drugstore product, and I chose the CoverGirl Clean Matte Foundation. I wanted to finish this, but as you can see by my markings, I have not finished it, but this is where it was when I rolled it in, and I just used it twice, so it did move a little bit. I don't know if you're going to be able to see like a little window here. I see a little window there, so hopefully you can too, but I mean, I feel like for 2 uses it moved quite a bit, so if I really just focus on this, I probably could get this done before the next update, but I'm panning 2 other foundations, so I don't think that's going to happen. Next is the project Child of the 80s. I chose the prompt Candyland, which is an item that is candy themed. It can smell like candy, it can have candy in the name, the color, whatever you want. And I rolled in the P. Louise The Cheek of It liquid blush in the shade Lolly Dolly. I thought that was perfect. Like, a lollipop. And I wanted to use this 30 times. I've used it 4 times, so 4 out of 30. This is very light blush, and I can use this on top of my foundation even when I do underpainting with my other cream blush that I'm panning. So I kind of double up on the cream blush when I use this, but this is just so light that it doesn't really show up very well unless I put it on top of my foundation. So that's how I'm able to use that one. The next project is Happy Hour, and I chose Mai Tai, which is a beach or summer themed item. I rolled in another single eyeshadow, and it is the shade Sand Dollar from Pretty's for Your Face. I want to use this 10 times, and I have managed to use it 6 out of the 10 times, so that is very exciting. This is what that looks like. You can definitely see a little disturbance. I had quite a few uses on this before I rolled it in, and I used my finger on this one, so you're not really going to see like a big dip when I use it, but I'm very happy with my usage. Next is a lipstick, and that is for the project Lip Service, which is just a lip product theme project. And I rolled in a lipstick from Milani. It's just a cream lipstick my mom decluttered to me, and I have the shade Plum Rose. I wanted to use this 30 times, and I've used it 8 times. It's not what I'm wearing today. What I have on my lips today is not in this project. I probably should have worn this, but oh well. This is what it's looking like. I kind of joked about the shape of this when I rolled it in, because my mom really made a good dent in this. All of this is from my mom. I had not used it before rolling it into this project, and I kind of thought that I would wear down the tip and make it flat, but I've kind of been following like the indent that she made, which I think is really funny. But chipping away on this one. Next project, I have 2 products in, and it's for the Nightmare Before Christmas, because in that project you're supposed to pick 13 items for Halloween and 12 items for Christmas. So I thought I would pick a product for Halloween and do 13 uses for that, and then a product for Christmas and do 12 uses. So both of these are single eyeshadows, and for Halloween I picked Pretty's for Your Face and For a Treat. I've used this twice, and it is a really nice cool tone metallic. I just realized I have not been swatching. I started swatching, but I have not been swatching. So I swatched everything in my intro, so you can go back if you're that curious. And then for Christmas, I rolled in Noel, which is another shade from Pretty's for Your Face. I've also used this twice. The gorgeous silver. I love that shade. And then the next prompt is the one that is rolling out. This is for the project Same Pan last year. I picked the prompt Valentine's Day, and another single eyeshadow from Pretty's for Your Face, and it is the shade Valentine Baby. I had a 10 use goal on this, and I used this 10 times in my inner corner. Super easy. I considered keeping it in until I hit pan, but I think I'm just going to roll it out and try to focus on something else for my inner corner. But you can see a nice little dent in this from my inner corner brush, but you can also see where when I just dropped the eyeshadow a few moments ago, I kind of made like a bigger dent over here. I don't know if you're going to be able to see those 2 dents. But yeah, this is a gorgeous inner corner. Loved it. So I got my 10 uses out of that. The next product is for the project That 70s Pan. I picked Sunken Living Rooms because I literally have a sunken living room. And that is for something with a dip or a pan. I chose my highlighter from this duo from Charlotte Tilbury. It is the Film Star Bronze and Glow Mini, and this already had a pan in it, but I wanted to expand the pan a little bit and use it 30 times. And I've used it 8 times, but I do think that the pan has expanded a little bit. So you'll see a side by side. And I have the bronzer in my Rolling Project 10 pan, so I thought it was perfect just to have this in a project too, since I already have the bronzer out for a project. And the way I've been using this is kind of doing my bronzer and then my highlight and then my blush on top of the highlight. And I think I really like doing it that way because this has become pretty chalky and it's not very impactful anymore, and it's very sad, but I'm happy I'm getting more use out of it since I have it. I have 8 out of 30 uses. And then the very last project I want to talk about is That's So 2000s, and I rolled in the Prompt Frappuccino, which is something sweet. I rolled in my Sydney Grace cream highlighter in the shade Sugar Cookie, and I want to use this 30 times. I've used it 10, so I'm a third of the way there. I really thought I would have pan by now, but I don't. I feel like I'm super close because the dip in here is pretty large. So 10 uses on that. I just use my finger and I use it as like an underpainting step. And I use this almost every time I do my makeup, so you can see my usage this month was really low because I only got 10 uses on this. So that is the end of this update. I'm sorry if my energy feels low. I feel like I'm very low right now. I'm very hot. I need something to drink. I'm hungry, you know, all the things. But I hope you enjoyed this video anyway to see my progress. And yeah, more progress to come next month. Hopefully I can work on some other products and get a start on those. But if you enjoyed, give this video a thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed, I hope you do so before you leave. So I see you all in my next one. Bye.